Happy New Year, everybody. What great way to start 2026 than to complain about Destiny 2. I'm kidding. Not entirely just talking about, Destiny 2 in a negative fashion, but just talking about Destiny 2 in 2025. How was it? How did I feel about it? Was it good? Not really. But there were some moments. And is there any faith in the future of the franchise going forward? And I do want to talk about even just Destiny Rising. I'm going to talk about Destiny as a franchise as well, even though I'm probably going to just title it as, Destiny 2 in 2025 or something. But regardless, for starters, starting where to begin, obviously with 2025, we were still in this long stretch of episodes, which were advertised as, we hear you, we are listening, and we know that seasons are garbage, so we're going to fix that. JK, lol, it was actually worse. It really was. I didn't realize how much I missed the more weekly rotations and stuff for seasons until episodes happened. And yeah, the narrative just fell flat because it was stretched so much, and we were in the middle of Revenant. And I think, yes, in January, this was basically still the time where I just gave up on playing a lot of Destiny. I actually started playing Warframe. And Revenant, I mean, for starters, Scorn. I'm not really a big fan. And two, just like I said, the story being stretched out when the whole plot line was just Fikrul has the Echo, making Frankenstein Scorn without the Fallen having to be dead or whatever. He's capturing Fallen as well. And you have Aldrin now, who is Crow, trying to speak with Fikrul and be like, son, stop. And Fikrul's like, no, daddy is dead thing now, and whatever. And then he melted. Spoiler alert, he turned into Goosebumps Melt. Very anticlimactic. And then the narrative of the whole, Aramis will take the mantle of saving the Eliksni. What? What do you mean? Aramis literally killed so many innocent lives, including Eliksni, if I recall, with, if they didn't side with her. So why? It was just the most cliche, gotta make the villain the good kind of plot line when Aramis, no. And it's so funny how even at the end of her getting it, she still was like, I hate you all, okay, bye, lol, I'm gonna go find a planet for us to live on. Okay. And now she has the most powerful thing right now, the Echo. So that was cool. Yeah, that whole thing, the quote unquote exotic mission thing was also just meh. It just lasted way too long. It just was okay. I didn't really care too much for it. Even the exotic, I was having fun with it for a little bit, and then I was like, I'm done. Yeah, it just wasn't that great. Episode Revenant. And this was then leading into the next episode, which was Heresy. Now, Heresy did a little bit better, but granted though, it still had a lot of issues, as in it being an episode where they stretch it out. But I was a lot more intrigued in this story because of what happened to Eris, right in the beginning, where she's killed. So yeah, that was a lot more impact into, oh yeah, I really care about this plot line now because they just did something that I don't want them to do. And you got to see Drifter just going into just a lot of grief on the situation, and he was a mess. But following the Heresy story where Oryx is back, but it's a memory of Oryx reincarnated with the Echo, and you have Xivu Arath and Savathun having quarrels with each other on what should we do with Oryx being back and stuff. And Oryx is like, I should be dead, bro. This guardian right here killed me, so this guardian should be taking the mantle. And I was like, oh, we're gonna get taken powers? No. And then also because the whole thing with the strikes for I already forgot, Sega Aftra, Sega, like the console, Sonic. Why there were, but the whole like voice actors and actresses, like rightfully so, like fighting for, like, not having their voices just turn into AI and having more like rights to their voices and stuff, so that it doesn't turn into that, like having grounds on that. So understandable, but it just really did suck having Xivu Arath and I believe even Sloane, like lines just nothing. It's just silence and just text on the bottom of the screen. It really did impact the story a bit, like so that really did suck. But at the same time, they introduced the Nether. No, not from Minecraft. It was a dungeon crawler-esque kind of like roguelike thing, whatever you want to call it. And its concept was quite interesting. At first I was like, yeah, and then it grew on me. And the grind actually felt more exciting because you had a chance on getting adept versions of the weapons, and then on top of that, a layer up, you would get adept shinies, the holofoils, and just that alone piqued my interest in the grind. Granted, though, they still did it wrong. I mean, the RNG for these shiny adepts were very, very low, at least for me. I spent, I think, in total, like 90 hours in the Nether alone on like the hardest difficulty, and I was not seeing a single one. And that was awful. And what made me more annoyed was, and I hope that they stop doing this, is where they have a way to make the grind better, but they don't release it until the very end of like the episode or season or whatever. What I'm talking about is that you were able to level up the vendor. It was just a mere taken thing, and you were able to get upgrades that would help you in the activities, which there was also the Court of Blades, which was interesting. It was like a boss rush mode, which was also pretty fun. Granted, though, it was better to just ignore the objectives to do more damage to the boss and just go in raw with the boss. Like, it was a little bit weird the way that they implemented it. Yeah, you were able to level up, though, the vendor, and one of the last things was if you did get a shiny adept, you would get 3 perks and just instead of just like 2. And that made it a lot easier to guarantee you getting what you want out of a shiny adept. But it was only for the holofoil ones where you were getting like the 3 perks. At least I believe so. And you wanted the shiny adept ones, or the adepts in general. Well, no, I think it was only the holofoil ones, but you would get Runneth Over, which is an insane origin trait that where if teammates are around you and you reload, you get more ammo. So yeah, I really wanted them and I wasn't getting them. So yeah, I was really upset about that. But the narrative did fall flat. I like Oryx, no surprise, dead again. And now, though, that leads into this next plot line of now Savathun has a reason to hate us completely and want us gone. So Xivu Arath and Savathun raid when, basically. So there's that. But yeah, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be leaving out some things about these episodes. I know there was the exotic quest, which was okay. I didn't really mind it that much. Borrowed Dyad, though, was awesome. Still is awesome. It's one of my favorite SMGs in the game. But yeah, plotline stuff, still, it's just the stretching and everything, and just, it kind of fell flat a bit at the end, not gonna lie. But then we got the dungeon, I don't even remember what it was called, with the 9, where they had a lot more difficult versions of old raids where they would have those weapons be updated with like new perks. There was holofoil versions. There was a origin trait that was new, and it was good. It was actually not that bad. Granted, though, the first way of them doing it was I think they were gonna have like the same dungeon for like 3 weeks in a row, and then move on to the next one. Thankfully, they changed that. But it kind of ran into the same issue where it's like, if you just waited till like towards the end, you would get better loot because they started doing like double drops of stuff at the end. I just hate that. Like, I don't mind there being like a double loot thing going on, but if it's like, oh, you're gonna get the best stuff if you just wait till the end for whatever event it could be, kind of sucks. I wish they would just be in the beginning, so then that would make more sense. And then maybe they bring it back towards the end again for people that missed out. I don't know, but it's just, I hate that part. I really do. I don't mind double XP weekends for games, but not if it's a looter shooter like Destiny. It just feels like, what's the point of logging on? Might as well just wait, because I'm not going to spend, the 40 hours when I could spend 20 hours instead because I'm getting double loot. Like, I don't know. That was just my take on it, but it does suck that a lot of these weapons that I was grinding for, in the end, just, was it really worth it? Because then we move on to Edge of Fate, where we got tier 5 loot. And boy, oh boy, there's a lot to say about Edge of Fate. For starters, the story, I didn't mind. It stretched way too much, though. The missions just lasted way too long. There was a lot of just random, like, just too much. And the whole ball mechanic, the portal mechanic, the just puzzles everywhere was not great. It's like one of those situations where it would have been better if they did that as like a dungeon. And even then, yeah. But the reason why I say that is the final mission of Edge of Fate it felt like a dungeon, and that's kind of where the mechanics I didn't mind so much. Like, if that was the only part where you got to do these things, I wouldn't care. But it was the entire campaign. And not only that, but in the mode, the exclusive mode for the expansion, you also have to do the ball mode, and it just sucks because it slows down the pace of the game. It's like, hey, I know that you're enjoying this build that you just crafted, but we need you to be ball, so then you could do damage to the things that constantly are spawning. Like, it was so tedious. Like, I don't like it. At first, I was like, this is funny. And then I was like, oh, not funny anymore. But, yeah. I feel like, though, that this was a pretty decent entry into this new saga with the 9. Like, once I started to go deeper into, like, understanding a lot what was going on, because I was still like, what is going on? I did like it. The raid was also pretty good. I was a boss after a boss after a boss, and then I still have yet to play the epic raid, but I heard that was also pretty good. The activity sieve was okay, but it was really stupid that it wasn't in the portal, and then I know we're getting there to the portal. Yeah. I don't know, I still wasn't feeling it. And then we go into the overhauls, the portal. This was a prime example where they were like, you know what? Let's just give them raw dough. No, yeah, like just, it's not even in the oven yet. It's just raw dough, and then we'll gradually cook it, not in an oven, but just have a small lamp on top of it. And maybe through the years, it'll get better. That's what the portal felt like. Just a lot of content became completely useless because of this new tier list of weapons and armor, and you couldn't get like tier 5 loot from like old dungeons or raids. You had to wait till it was in the portal, and a lot of these activities that they added was a small amount. Like, it wasn't until like after doing fire team ops, like just the match made version, like quick play or whatever you want to call it, it took me a while to realize, wait a minute, how many strikes are in here? Because I kept running into the same ones. for me to realize that they didn't even put all the strikes into the playlist. They didn't put all the battlegrounds, all this, content that I feel like would have been pretty simple to implement into this portal system was missing. And we're still having that issue. It's just, we're going to, again, a lamp over a raw dough to try and cook it, to bake it, not cook it. But, we might as well just say it's a pizza. It's just the dough of the pizza. There's no sauce, no cheese, no pepperoni. It's just the dough. Like, we're not even at the point where it's baked enough to then start putting on the toppings, even though you're supposed to do that before. Like, it's in a really messy spot. But this is where it was at the start, and the grind. Now, this was the most controversial take was the grind being the way it was at launch. There was people that liked it because it made sense to them, where only the elitist of players that are grinding the game should get the best loot. If you're just logging on to play for 2 hours and you're not really investing through the whole year on Destiny, you shouldn't just get tier 5s. Like, that was their take. And then you had people say the opposite, where it should be raining loot and be super easy. For me, I was in the middle, where it's like there should be a chance to get tier 5s just through your casual grinds, almost treating them like the shinies, to at least get you a little bit more motivation into the grind. I don't know why they just didn't do that, because I didn't mind the grind. I just hated the portal. Like, it was so boring. The most optimal way to play was solo ops. If you were doing anything else that you wanted to do, it wasn't optimal and you're wasting time. And we had to wait for Bungie to be like, oh, we see you, we're listening, we'll fix that. But they had to be pushed up against a wall where the player counts dropped for them to do anything. And I know that as a fact. I don't want to hear, well, dev work hard. Apparently it was so easy to just drop everything on what you had to make this portal thing. And they're quick to change things in the past that are like as simple as make the grind better or make sense. And they were originally going to nerf solo ops when no one wanted that. No, just make everything else better. That was it. It took so long. This was where the tone deaf Bungie marketing geniuses really shocked me. And it disappoints me that there are devs that want the game to do well. We hear it in the background all the time. But then you have all these higher up leaderships where they're like, well, playtime. We got to get people to play the game, and we don't want to just hand out things. It's like, we're not asking for just handouts. We want reward of our time investment in your game. That's what we want. The portal was awful the way it was. And it was another reason why I wasn't playing much of any Destiny. Even though I love the build crafting, I love the gameplay of Destiny 2, it was just a mess. And during this time, granted though, it was like last year summer, I know that I mentioned Destiny Rising, I started to kind of put a little bit of time into Destiny Rising, even though it's a gacha game, and seeing a lot of features that I'm like, why is this not in Destiny 2? I'm not talking about the gacha systems. I'm talking about Patrol actually having a lot of reputation grind to it. It's more of an MMO. There's actually a reason to do public events, because you get these keys through doing bounties that you then turn into the public events. And I'm like, that's such an ingenious idea. What if there was a way where as you're playing the game normally, you get these keys that you can go to any patrol, and I mean any patrol. I know that they do the key system with Neomuna, but that there would be more emphasis, and you would get really good loot out of that, having some kind of rotation of a reason to go into patrol. But the patrol in Rising has more than that. There's a lot of things to collect, in to go and explore. There's fishing. There's actual fishing. And I don't mean oh, this is gonna go away and whatever. It's like you actually get to keep the fish. It's not like it's gonna disappear. And the fish actually have like a currency that you're getting when you get the fish and you turn them in, where you can buy things to help your grind. Like, there's more MMO looter shooter stuff in Rising. I mean, the way that they did the raids as like the encounters, where each encounter has an exotic, you have these modes that are actually really interesting. The way that they do them, like, I don't want, like, again, I want to make it more focused on Destiny 2, but this was during the time that me playing Destiny Rising, even though it's not perfect, it's still not Destiny 2. A lot of the features that are in Destiny 2, it makes me sad that we don't see this kind of stuff in Destiny Rising. Like, all these features that should be in Destiny 2. They even have sparrow racing. And it works. They even have systems where if you're in PvP, they disable all of your like benefits, like mods and whatever, to make it more of a fair experience where everyone's in the same playing field. Meanwhile, you know, Bungie struggles to ensure that exotics or certain abilities don't work in snowball fights and Dawning. So, yeah, it was during this time that I finally was able to see what would Destiny be like if they were to do certain things, and through Destiny Rising. So that really made it more sour for me to play Destiny 2. And Destiny Rising in no shape or form is like my replacement of Destiny 2. It was just more lines that was like more Destiny, because it plays very differently in its gameplay. But plus being a gacha game. But yeah, this is, again, Edge of Fate, and then they were doing the whole split into 2 expansions, which I was curious about, but they had these major updates, and I could have swore they like hyped it up to be like a way better than episodes or something. And when I heard the word free, I was like, no, it's not. It's really not, is it? And even though my expectations were so low, my goodness, fellas, Ashen Iron was a nightmare. Like, if you were already not really interested in Destiny, this killed it for you, because there was like no story, and the activity was just reused assets of Rise of Iron, which, okay, fine, but that was it. Like, they didn't add anything brand new past that other than an exotic mission. It was so bland. And I don't know who at the narrative team thought the great idea to not have Siva involved and get hype back up with like maybe a hints of Wrath of the Machine for like next year or something like that. But at least implementing Siva to get us interested in having like Siva weapons, or having the Rise of Iron weapons where they had like the pelts over them and stuff. Like, getting hype of nostalgia and a literal nostalgia bait update. You're going back to the Plaguelands. Oh wait, it's like the Nether, but not really. It doesn't have that same level of fun or whatever. Like, it was like a half of Nether on what they were trying to do. Like, it's like you had the Nether. Why is this like a lesser version of that? It was a mess. And like, again, this was something that was so simple of just doing Siva, but because, oh, well, we don't want to code Siva into Destiny 2 because it's not already in the game. We don't want to do that. Like, we don't want to spend that money and investment in doing that. Like, why? The return value would have been way greater than what it was, because it instead really annoyed everybody, including myself, to see 0 Siva. And them to say, no, Siva's dead, and then give you a Siva axe. Oh, but it's through like the ripples of time and space and whatever, because that's what the Conductor's doing, and that's why the Conductor has Shadow Legion again, because they're from a timeline when they won. And hey, remember this one boss from the Curse of Osiris strike? Yeah, that's the boss of the exotic mission. Oh my goodness, who is writing the slop? Is it Chat GPT? Because no offense, like a non-Destiny fan could literally sit there and be like, where's the red fallen? Why is it no red? Even the area just looks so dead, just like the update, because Siva was just all dead. All gray. No color, no nothing. Like, what happened to a lot of the color of Destiny 2? Like, it's and normally their art direction is amazing, but Ash and Iron? No. It was not. So, yeah. That there. You know, right there. I thought there was no way. No way. And then Renegades came out. And just like in my previous video of my honest thoughts of Renegades, I feel like this was a lot better than Edge of Fate, which is not saying much, but it gave me a little bit more hope for 2026. And it's mainly because now they fixed the portal with the grinds a little bit more. It's not perfect, you know, trust me, it's not. But we got a dungeon, which was okay, but the weapons and stuff were super nice. The campaign was pretty cool, and the exotic mission was super fun and well done. The grind for the crystals was such an ingenious idea that I guarantee they'll probably never do ever again, because why would we ever do something that's such a great idea twice? It's good. Lawless Frontier finally made the portal look less like I want to uninstall the game and never touch it again, and it just makes me want to barf looking at it. Like the UI of Lawless Frontier was so good, and the activity is so fun. They somehow made Gambit not in Gambit, and it's fun. It's better than Gambit. Like, it's great. Portal was still Portal, but they added some more things. They got arena ops in there, but it's still kind of a mess where revives in those activities make zero sense to me. I would much rather there be a timer. I'm being serious. Like, I normally hate timers in activities, but if the challenge of the revives in some of these, like Contest of Elders and Onslaught, it sucks. Like, Onslaught it's so obvious what the challenge is. Protect the ADU. Why is there revives in there, Bungie? And then you have Contest of Elders, where the progress of difficulty is going room to room, and the modifiers are added room to room. Oh, no, but you still gotta have Chill Touch and all this other stuff from the portal, and there's revives. Why? No, the challenge should be getting to room and making it to the end, doing those extra objectives as well to get better loot, like the way Contest of Elders was originally. I don't want to touch it because it's so horribly done, and I don't know who at Bungie is like, this makes sense. I like the way it is. Said Bungie dev that never even touched Contest of Elders, and I would love to see them on live stream doing it. On the hardest difficulty, on Ultimate. I want to see it. You know, if you want to prove us wrong, play the game. Show us. You won't. Like, show us that it's so easy to play these activities with blueberries as well, who are just loading in casually. Like, I'm not talking about finding a fire team of sweats just because it's a match-made thing. And also, a lot of things not being match-made, it's a mess. The whole portal is still, we're, again, a light lamp over a raw dough trying to get baked, so then they can hopefully then put on the sauce and the cheese and the pepperoni later. We're just trying to bake the dough, I guess. Like, that's all we're doing right now, and it's not fun. It's not exciting. But other than that, I've been actually having a little bit more fun with Destiny, where I got a little bit more hope that things could get better. Granted, though, I don't know. It really depends on what Bungie's path is next. And I know Sony doesn't want to just throw more money at them when they lost millions of dollars through what they promised, and player counts are very low. So I have no clue. But I can say this much: I will have more enjoyment with Destiny if what they're doing right now continues, where the portal is not tedious, the grinds and all that stuff, and I'm getting a lot more loot. Like, and the whole focus is adding more things to the portal where we can start having more unique experiences. And they have the Vanguard alerts where it's like technically bringing back Grandmasters, and it's nice. Now do more. I would love to start seeing old dungeon weapons being exclusive to the dungeons as well. Like, it sucks that you go and do like duality in the portal, but you're just getting the pinnacle ops loot. You're not getting duality weapons. Like, once they start having exclusive weapons to the activities that they come from, like, it would be actually really cool to see, like, hey, if you do the Season of the Deep content in the portal, you can chance on getting these Season of Deep weapons instead of just the pinnacle ops or whatever portion of the portal loot. And that's where I also could say that it would be interesting for them to run back old seasons and start updating them to this new tier list system, like almost like a redo. Like, we're going back to the very first season of Destiny 2 with the Red War. We bring back the Red War campaign, and we have a lot of those old weapons updated, like Better Devils for the 50th time, but, you know, giving it better perks, origin trait, have shinies of these weapons as well that look really cool, and then gradually start doing that with the next ones and stuff. Like, it's just, there is ideas of what they could do. It's just a matter of what will they do. And I guess when they are back from vacation, from the holidays, we'll hopefully get more information. But that's pretty much Destiny 2 in 2025 for me. This is after Final Shape, and even before Final Shape, I wasn't playing as much Destiny 2 as I used to. I started just branching out, playing multiple games, and just enjoying what I play and not caring about, oh, I have to just play Destiny. And after Final Shape, it was impossible for me to just invest into Destiny, even though I had high hopes about episodes. Not really, but at least like where it's like, oh, this could be better than seasons. Like, episode Echoes started off where it's like, okay, this is giving me some hope, until I realized that there was going to be a lot of nothing. And yeah, then going into 2025, you know, through in the middle of Revenant and stuff, it just wasn't really into it. And I still am kind of like that, but I'm having more fun just playing with weapons. And I think my main focus with content as well, when it comes to Destiny 2, is I just want to have fun with the game. I don't care if there's any like specific theme, but if there is one, it's just me messing with builds, messing with weapons, and just having fun. You know, I normally like, I'm like, oh, what's the point of doing this when I'm guaranteeing that there's like 50 million other videos that have the same kind of build or same review of a weapon, and the weapon I'm reviewing is probably like old. I don't care. I'm just gonna have fun. And like I said, I'm enjoying Destiny 2 a lot more now that they fixed a lot of the foundational problems that was not really that big of an issue during Final Shape. They just needed to make activities have updated loot and yeah, like modifier system, I guess. But the whole portal thing, I don't know. But it seems like they know what they're aiming to do, and at least we hope so. And yeah, so let's hope 2026 is a lot better for Destiny. And I do respect the efforts from the devs that have done a lot of this stuff that is really fun. Again, Renegades is fun, and I was not expecting to enjoy it that much. because I'm not really big with Star Wars, but I've been enjoying it. And I don't know. And no, that's not because, Bungie, Page, GB. Listen, I'm not a Bungie creator. I don't get free silver. Heck, I didn't even know about that until I started seeing so many people having that. I'm like, well, dang. I feel like they do it on purpose for the wallet skits. Like, listen. If they're not going to give me Bungie creator because I speak my mind and I have this kind of humor and stuff, so be it. I don't do it for them in money for me or whatever. I do it for all of you, so I don't care. But no, I'm not doing it because I want Bungie to invite me to their studio and, have me test out stuff early or whatever. Sure, it would be cool, but that's not my goal here. The goal is that I'm being honest, that I do find enjoyment with the game, but that also could be because I haven't played the game, at all. And still, I'm loving other games. I'm playing a lot of Warframe. I'm playing random games on streams. I'm even going back to Fallout 76 at times. I'm just playing. But, again, regardless, that's my thoughts on Destiny 2 in 2025. You let me know in the comments down below what your experience with Destiny 2 in 2025 was like, and what are your hopes for 2026 for Destiny 2, or Destiny as a franchise. Would you like some movies, TV shows? Do you want Destiny Rising to be way cooler? Do you want a Destiny 3? Do you want a Destiny 1 remaster? What do you want in 2026? But regardless, Happy New Year, everybody. Let's make this a chibi-tastic one. Have a chibi-tastic day, night, evening, wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next video. Chibi out.